This is Wastelands by FSPT. It's 99.87 megabytes to download. And the description says, Wasteland. In times, these lands were used by the people so that they could take food or prosper in a better business. Today, a little abandoned and limited, they will require a lot of work and ambition so that something good can be expected from here. This land, somewhere on the suburbs of Portugal, in which the region is not exact, contains 2 farms, one of which in easy mode already belongs to you, also has a large land with some sheds, fertilizer and lime silos, grain silo, haystack, and with 2 types of animals, cows and chickens. It also has 2 land ready for cultivation, 1 vineyard and 1 olive grove that are part of its initial farm. Industrial zone with its factories and a vast terrain to explore and work on. And it says at the bottom there, have a good time. So let's go and check it out. And here we are. This is where you start off in all 3 modes, facing the wall like a naughty child. But we are here down at the shop. Like so. And this is the map, people. So we've got a sort of couple of fields on here. There's also some grapes and olive vineyards, which you just sort of heard in the description. We are actually here at the shop. Now I'm in new farmer mode, and this is where my first little niggle's going to be about it. And in new farmer mode, we start off with this plot down here. Okay, happy days. We've got a sheep pasture there, we've got a hayloft, we've got a silo, we've got a farmhouse, then we've got a few sheds with some of our equipment in. Okay, happy days. But on the description, which I've just read to you, but I'm going to read it out again, and I think it's the way it's been worded, but I'm wondering if they were meant to start you up at this farm, because this is the better farm out the 2, if I'm honest. It's got a proper farmhouse on there. And yeah, but this is what it says in the description. It says 2 farms, one of which in easy mode already belongs to you, also has a large land with some sheds, fertilizer and lime silos, grain silo, haystack, and with 2 types of animals, cows and chickens. Well, that's all up here at this farm. So we've got the chickens there, cows there, we've got the seed and fertilizer silo there, and there's also bees up here. We do have that field as well, and also as part of that plot you'd get grapes and olives. Now maybe that might be too much to start off with, build yourself up. I think it's just the way it's been worded on there, but to me it sounds like that's where you should be. But anyway, we are down here. That has got a value of 383,000. Happy days. The rest of the map has been split up into different sections, so a lot of this all around here, it's, I don't always like to say it, but it's just a good reference. It's very no man's land-esque, so it's quite open spaces with just a couple of trees dotted around, so you can do what you want with them, create new fields, place down productions. They vary in prices. I think that's the most expensive one, 980, 747, 99. This is grapes and olives. Can't remember which way round, but they are 41,000 roughly. This area here, 31, that is the BGA. It's only going to cost you 47,160, so cheap as chips. That is very nice. There is some sort of forestry. There's this area, 161,000. That has also got a couple of sheds there, which we'll see a bit later. Huge field up here. That's 471,000 for that. And then, like I say, all these areas down here. This is where most things are, productions and sell points. You can, as you can see, buy all these little plots like so. But it doesn't mean you own that production. You still have to buy it as normal by going up to the spanner wrench. And to be fair, there's not a lot of room on these plots, so I don't think you'd really want to bother buying some of them unless you can squeeze something in there. Now, there is a kind of outside of the map jobby, and over here we've got a lime station and the debris crusher. This is another little this is kind of like a lime quarry type thing. which obviously we will check out in a minute. I've done some testing on this map just so I can give you guys the right sort of answers and info. So when we get down there, I will talk you through that, but it's a little bit weird. That comes with all that sort of very, very outside of the map in this sort of river area even, and there's also the biomass heating plant, and it takes in a fair bit of forestry there as well. But that's a whopping 2.4 million. So that is quite pricey. So there you go. But that is the map. If we scroll through here, there is 9 collectibles on here. I didn't come across any, and on a map like this, I think it's going to be quite hard to find those 9, I would imagine. Don't start off with any productions. There is contracts available on the other fields, so not a bad price there for harvesting. Now, you can use all the animal pens in any modes regardless of whether you own the land or not, so they are available for you, which is pretty good. And there's nothing added in, no custom crops or anything like that. Crop calendar's the same, so that's pretty much all of that. Now what we're going to do is, because we're at the shop, I was going to jump down to the farm and then kick off things like that, but I'm going to do it a bit of a way round I wouldn't really want to or normally do, and we're going to end up at the actual main farm, or the farm we start with I should say, because it's not the main farm in my eyes. So yeah, I don't normally do things like that, so that'll be the last thing we visit, because I think if we get a pickup we'll do all this like that. It shouldn't take us too long. This is the main sort of area, and we can pretty much knock that out pretty quick. So not too bad. Oh, there's a few greenhouses up here again, but I'll talk about that when we get there as well. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Now, in terms of modded in things, there's no vehicles or equipment like that, but if we go into build mode, we do have under silos these two at the end. So this guy is exactly the same as the base game one. It's not a multi-fruit. It holds exactly the same price. That is on both farms, and it's been modded in because it's been made to look a bit rusty and old, worn out sort of silo, which is pretty cool. And then we've got this guy here, which is the seeds, fertilizer and lime silo. That holds 400,000 litres like the standard one, but obviously it will hold those 3 things instead of like crop types. But if we click on that, there's nothing there. But it has been like a custom sort of modded in silo, which we'll see when we get up at that big farm. Where else? In factories, we have all the base game factories. They are exactly the same models, buildings, but what has been happening, or what has happened should I say, if I can get down there, is all the writing, the names of the buildings, they've all been translated into Portuguese, I guess. So that's pretty cool. If I just zoom out and find some writing, there you go. I won't go through all of them, but yeah, it's all been sort of translated. There we go, look, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, we've got all of those in there, and in sell points, I think the same thing goes for this supermercado. So that's just been translated, and that is it for modded in things. If we go up to landscaping and painting, it's just your standard sort of textures we're used to: animal mud, asphalt, concrete, dirt, forest ground, grass, dry grass, gravel, rock and granite. Nothing special there. I think that is it, guys. So we'll grab ourselves a pickup. What I will say is this is quite uneven, this ground at the shop. So if you're buying or leasing quite a lot of things, it could prove a little bit difficult, and it's not very big, this area. So just one thing to note. And also this, if we go into the shop menu, we'll grab our pickup whilst we're here. Normally when you go into this menu at the shop like this, by clicking on the icon, it puts you in the same spot back on the map, but you normally facing the other way. This one, it Put you right back over here. But obviously we still are at the shop, so that's fine. I'm not too fussed about that. Right, let's head on round. I think I've told you everything I need to know. Did I say there's no sawmill on the map, which is a little bit surprising. Obviously you can place one down, there's plenty of room if you buy up the areas, but there is a few places where we can sell wood and also wood chips as well, so we will be talking about that as we go. I've gone the wrong way already. That is not the way I wanted to go. I do apologise. Too busy talking. Some of these tracks are a little bit bumpy. I wanted to go this way because I'm going to show you these sheds. Obviously they're open sheds, so you can use them if you want to, but that is part of that other plot I did show you earlier. And then if we go up here, now this is all part of the land of the other farm, the bigger farm, so that would be your small field. And if I go up into landscaping mode and just go through the trees, you would get these grapes and olive groves and vineyards. There's a couple of these on the map as well. They're a little bit random, little windmills. Bit strange. There you go. We'll come back to the animals which are all in there. I quite like the animal pastures on here. They're pretty cool. They've been sort of modded in. I like that. Right, let's jump out. So here's the farmhouse. Like I said, there's no sleep trigger there at the minute, and it doesn't show as having a farmhouse, but if you buy this plot of land it will come up, the trigger will be there. And this is the Oak Belleron farmhouse, but it's again been modded, which I think looks pretty cool. It's got that sort of rustic look. I like that. And if you do buy this plot of land, you will get the wardrobe trigger come up there as standard. Now this door is open at the minute, so obviously we can park something in there if we wanted to. But if you buy this plot of land, you can open and close this door. But if you close it and then sell the land off, it will let you sell the land back, even though there's placeables on here, which is pretty good. But if you do that, you will not be able to open that door again unless you buy the land. So just something to point out there. We'll go back out the way we came in, just so we're going all the proper way. And then we head into the sort of main farm area. A little bit of decoration there. So on the left, that is that seed and lime silo. Was it lime or was it... I can't remember what it was now. What was it? Yeah, seed, fertilizer and lime. So as you can see, it's a modded in silo. We've got the old barn there, which you can use if you want. 2 bunker silos. We've got some beehives there, just the small ones, plus the honey pallet spawn location. Hayloft, which is just for hay and straw, that's the standard one. And then one of those silos, as you've seen, a little bit of water there. And then we've got some more of these open sheds. I think there's 3 of them. Those 2 are joined together. So that is that farm, which, like I say, is probably the better farm. Oh, that's something I was going to say. This texture, I do like this texture. I like it when it's on maps, but it's not available in the painting texture, which is a bit annoying. But it is what it is. Right, back down here we will go to the animal pens now, and I quite like all this, how this has been done. We'll open these gates, I'll drive in a bit, and then we're parking here for now, and then we'll come back. So up this end we've got chickens, as you can see on the field info. This will hold 150 chickens. I will buy some just so you can see, and they will basically roam all the way around in this area, and I mean everywhere. So if I go up into landscaping mode and zoom over here, I'm hoping we will find some over there. We go, they're right over here, look. So they just get absolutely everywhere. And the same with the cows. So there you go, look, more chickens, which I think's cool. I mean, this whole area is fenced off, so it's not like they can escape. I know it's only a game, but we like to think they can't escape. So your feed trigger will be there for the chickens, and your eggs will spawn under the here in this little shed, which is nice, keeps the eggs dry. Happy days. We'll shut that gate and we will move on to the cows. I think we will, should we chuck a couple of cows in? Maybe. I need to make sure I've got enough money at the end to buy the BGA. Right, I'm going to stop there. In fact, let's drive right to the end and we'll run back because we need to go out this way. For some reason this gate is already open. I'm not quite sure why, but it is. Again, there's a very nice texture on the ground, but not available on painting. So up this end of these gates is the cow. It says cow barn when you click on the icon on the map, but it's more of a pasture, isn't it? 200 cows, that will hold. This will be your milk point. I've tested all this as well. Now, some of the trigger icons I think are missing. So I had to obviously test that because most of the time it is a bit self-explanatory. But because I couldn't see them, I thought, right, I need to test this. And if you look at the field info, it is showing water, it's showing straw. So I need to make sure I got all that right. This is going to be a feed trough just here, and your trigger is literally just there. The only thing I would say is I filled this up with TMR. I put it all in a line along here, but it came out the line about that much on this end, so it's looked a bit odd. So again, a little bit iffy. This is your water trough, and like I say, there's no icon there, but it was pretty self-explanatory. And then we do have a slurry point, which does work. Tried all the triggers, so you collect slurry out there. Now, even though you're giving them straw, there is no manure pit on here. I skipped through a month and couldn't find any manure. So if you want manure, you'll have to put down a manure heap extension or manure pit, whatever you want to do. But your straw trigger is here by this bath, because we do have a little bit of straw on the floor. So I drove up to about here and the trigger come up, and that sort of fills up with straw, but some of it is floating a little bit, which I thought was a little bit odd as well. And like I say, milk point there. But the cows again will roam all the way through this area, which is nice. What does that say? It says that. So yeah, I like the way that animal sort of area's been done. Pretty cool. I like it when the animals have got quite a bit of room to roam around and maneuver. Again, more writing there. It says Portugal at the bottom. We will stop there. In here we have 3 large greenhouses. Now, you will need to buy them like this, so individually for 10 grand. But if you want to delete one of these, if you buy it, you cannot delete it just by buying it. You will need to buy the plot of land as well, which is 15,300. But I think some of the areas on here I wouldn't bother deleting or messing. I think it's quite a nice little area what they've done, so I think some things I would leave. Oh, one thing I didn't tell you about that main farm, if I go up to landscaping mode, do apologise. On here, the only thing, and I bought the land to make sure that I was doing it right, the only thing I could sell on here was the farmhouse. Obviously it's not coming up with it now because we don't own the land. It wouldn't let me sell anything. None of these silos, none of the beehives, bunker silos, hayloft. I couldn't sell nothing on here apart from the farmhouse. So that was a little bit disappointing. Couldn't find any way to sell the chicken pasture. That didn't come up. But again, this is one of the things I would definitely leave. I think it's pretty cool. And the cow barn, I think, does come up. Oh, when you click on the there. Like so. But again, I couldn't find any way that you could sell that. So there is quite a few things on here where you can't sell the buildings. So it might upset a little bit, a few people even. There's that huge field on our right. And this is the kind of thing we're looking at for the rest of the map. Nice big open areas. A few watchtowers scattered around. Maybe there's some collectibles up there, I don't know. And this is the bit of forestry we're sort of coming towards. But again, this is part of that 2 point something million outside of the map jobby. So quite expensive. In here is our biomass heating plant, so we've got a place to sell wood and straw and whatnot. Excuse the trees, but there is quite a few here. Right, we'll get down this way. Do go over quite a cool bridge here, but there's quite a loud running water noise, and it's pretty calm, the water, so that doesn't quite tally up, does it? It's almost as if there's like a waterfall or something. Again, back up into all the open areas. There's another one of those little white windmills over there. Oh, looking at my notes and I'm heading off in the wrong direction. Right, we need to take this route here. Ooh, that was a bit bumpy. Some of these tracks and roads are a little bit bumpy. There is traffic on here and people walking about, but that is as you'd probably expect down where all the productions are, because it's more sort of built up area. If we go round into here, this is our sort of lime quarry. There's a little bit of water on our right. And then we do have this. Quite like the way it's been done, but that is the debris crusher. We've got a ramp there. It's a little bit steep, but you can reverse up, tip in. And it's kind of been done like you're bringing your stones here, isn't it? And it's being crushed up, turned into lime. So it would imagine it would go off into that conveyor belt, then it would go up round there into the building. Even this building up here has got translated writing as well, which is pretty cool. This is where it gets a bit random. I'll come down here because this is a bit more in your face. So my question was, if we buy this area for that ridiculous price, can we scoop up all this lime and use it? The question is, yes, you can scoop all this up if you buy the land. You can't, if you don't own the land, you can't scoop any of this up. It just runs through. But if you buy the land, you can scoop this up. But it is not lime. This is snow. This is snow, guys. Snow joke. It is snow. Picked it up with a bucket and I was like, that is not the icon for lime, that is snow. So on a lovely August day we have a massive pile of snow. Very random. Anyway, moving on. This under here is a station. It says on the map, if I can get the trigger to work, lime station, but you can also buy seeds and solid fertilizer from here, which is cool. Nice option, that. Right, out of here. Yeah, very random that. I couldn't believe that when I dug the bucket in. I thought, that is snow, what is happening? All the way out, we just need to literally floor it now. We're going to go across the back of the BGA. You should be able to see the shop as well, which is where obviously we started. But again, huge open areas out here, look. Lots of land. Plenty of potential. I think it's a pretty neat map, to be honest with you, apart from the couple of little issues here and there. I mean, it's not very often a map comes out and there isn't anything wrong with it. So there's the shop down there. So that's how close we were to this area. Starting off. There's a huge open area on our right, another one of those little windmills. Wonder if that's kind of like a Portugal thing, a vibe, I don't know. We need to go into here, and this is kind of where everything's happening. We'll go up the back first and work our way down. So we've got a fuel station just here, which is nice, we've got that. and then we're into the BGA area just in here. So we've got 2 bunker silos on the left, and there's our BGA. We've also got a ramp here. I like that's been done as well, so you've got that option if you want to. So as you can see, no icons or triggers appearing. Let's quickly show you where we've been. So we started at the shop, we came up, I took the wrong turn and denied, but then we come back down, went all into the farm, back out through the animal pastures, into the greenhouses, that way, didn't we? All the way along there, into the biomass, cross the bridge, down into the winter wonderland, and across out of there. We're now at the BGA. So if I buy this and then click off that, we now have the BGA icon on the map, and there's the icons there as well. So pretty cheap, that BGA. That's a nice touch, that. Not very often you get a BGA as cheap as that. Take advantage of it. Right, let's head down here. What have we got first? Ah yes, in the left, or on the left I should say, we've got our animal dealer. So just there is your dialogue box, and then up the back there we've got a sale point for your bales or your loose grass, hay, straw, etc. And then in here is probably the best you're going to get for a sawmill, unless you place one down. This is, what was this actually called? Logs selling. So you come here, you'll sell your logs. There's your icon. And then just across the way we've got wood chip sell. So that's where you're going to sell your wood chips, obviously. If we come down this end, we've got a sell point. Again, that's been translated. Look, this is the cooperative sell point, just there. And then up into here we've got another sell point, and this was called grain sell. That is what it's called. So obviously for your grains, I expect. Pretty self-explanatory. Just under there we've got another chute there. We can buy from there seed and solid fertilizer only. You cannot buy lime from there. The only place you can buy lime is down at the snowy mountings, or whatever you want to call it. But there you can buy seed and solid fertilizer. Where do we need to go next? Down here on the left we've got our bakery, and as you can see there's people walking around. There should be traffic. I expect we will hold up the traffic. I've gone the wrong way again. Here we go. We'll let this car go first. Should go down there. I think they just basically do a loop around here. On the right hand side we've got our spinnery. Left hand side carpentry. On the right is the dairy. On the left is cereal factory. Come back to that one in a minute because none of the icons are showing this side. On the left there is the grain mill. He's getting impatient behind me. And then if we go around this side we've got the oil mill. Is he going to come past me? Yes, thank you. So the oil mill just there. On the left is the tailor shop, or tailors. Supermarket. Sale point is around the back, like so. And right opposite is the one I said I'll come back to that because the icons are all around the front. That's your grape processing unit. And then the last one on the left there is the sugar factory, or the sugar mill. Right, all we got left is to go and visit our farm, and then we are done. So back out this way, down this track, and then here we are. This is our starting farm. So yeah, a little bit random that I finished it off like this, but at least we got here. So another one of those silos just there. We've got a bunker silo at the back. If I spin round, we've got a hayloft, which is nice. We've got sheds there with all our equipment in, which is pretty good. And we've got this farmhouse. Now, another issue. This sleep trigger does not work. I'm clicking on it. It is not working. So that is definitely an issue. No sleep trigger at the main farm. And also, I could not sell anything here, not even the farmhouse. Even though we own this plot of land, it would not let me sell anything. So it's not like you can change the layout at all of this farm. Whether they will change that, I'm not sure. But heading on up into here, another cool animal pasture. I like this. There's no gate on this one though, it is open, but this is our sheep pasture, which obviously we do own, but you can still use in the other two modes. This will hold 150 sheep. Your pallets of wool will spawn in there, and then over here underneath the little shed there, we've got your water trigger, and we've got a feed trigger. And again, they will fill up all of this area. It's all fenced off. It's quite a nice area for them to roam around. So nice, I like that. But that is it, guys. So we sort of came from there. We went down in there, I think, and up and round, bam, like so. That is it. That is Wastelands, everybody, by FSPT. Please let me know your thoughts. I love reading your comments. Whether you played on it, you tried it, you didn't like it, I still like to know. It's awesome. But if you did enjoy the map tour, please give us a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. That would be fantastic. And don't forget to smash that bell so you don't miss any future videos of mine. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.